All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to talk about Mann Whitney U test. And this is a non-parametric test. So a popular non-parametric test to compare the outcomes of two independent groups is the Mann Whitney U test. The Mann Whitney U test is used to test whether two samples are likely derived from the same population. For example, the two populations have the same shape. Some investigators interpret this test as comparing the means between the two populations. Recall that the parametric test compared the means between the independent groups. So we're comparing the medians in a non-parametric test, and in a parametric test, we're comparing the means. So let me do this. I want to make sure we highlight this. So again, this test compares the medians, and I'm going to highlight it in yellow, okay? So that's how we know. All right, so let me go to this next picture and we'll keep going. So hypotheses test for a Mann Whitney. Again, the two independent samples are simple random samples from two distinct populations. For the two distinct populations, if the sample sizes are small, the distributions are important and should be normal. If the sample sizes are large, the distributions are not as important, so they don't need to be normal. So what does that mean is when data sets get larger and larger and larger, we're not too concerned about the shape. And when I'm talking large, I'm talking millions, like maybe millions of rows. But when the sample sizes are very small, you got to look at those distributions. So we're going to look at a situation where the sample sizes are small and the distributions are not normal. So you're going to make your assumptions for a Mann Whitney. Your assumptions one is you have a dependent variable that is measured at the continuous or ordinal level. Assumption two is you have one independent variable that consists of two categorical or independent groups. It's a dichotomous variable. What it means is you just have two different groups. Assumption three is that you have an independent of observations. Again, that simple random sample. Assumption four, you must determine whether the distribution of the scores of both groups of your independent variable. So what you got to do is you got to look at both groups to see if you can run this test. And I'm going to show you how to look at the distributions in this PowerPoint. All right, so when we looked at, remember when you looked at two mean test, you were looking at the means. Now you're looking at the medians. So for the left-tailed test, the null is the median of group one is greater than or equal to the median of group two. The alternative is the median of group one is less than the median of group two. For the right-tailed test, the median for the null, the median of group one is less than or equal to the median of group two. And the alternative is the median of group one is greater than the median of group two. For the two-tailed test, the null hypothesis is the median of group one equals the median of group two, and the alternative is the median of group one does not equal the median of group two. Okay, so those are your hypotheses. All right, I'm going to stop the video and do a different one for the example.